The burn will cover 642 hectares near Williams Lake, eating up trees and biomass forest fires use as fuel while allowing natural grasslands to come back. Tasha Sargent with the Grasslands Conservation Council of BC says 30% of species at risk in the province rely on the grassy plains.
Well, what happens is when fire is suppressed in grasslands and the more deciduous trees and woody trees come up and conifers, they do increase the fuel loading on grasslands, and so with needles and decomposing matter and such, and what happens is when there is a fire, it burns at much higher intensity than if it is just a grass fire. Grass fires tend to not do as much damage, and it definitely is less of a threat to public safety.
Sargent says controlled burns are a commonly used technique to help restore BC's disappearing grasslands. Shane Woodford, Kamloops. The managed burn will cover a 642-hectare area near Williams Lake, cutting down on encroaching trees and biomass, both forest fire fuel. Tasha Sargent, stewardship planner with the nonprofit Grasslands Group, says the burn will benefit the land and ranchers who rely on the feed.
And what it does is it promotes new growth of the grasses. That's excellent for both wildlife and for livestock as far as range. It creates a lot of forage. You're feeding the cows and feeding the deer and the elk and the moose and everything else that are in the areas, and the new grasses tend to attract a lot of wildlife and much needed forage for the ranching industry.
Sargent says grass fires, while damaging, are less a threat to public safety than a forest fire fueled by trees, plants, and biomass. Shane Woodford, Kamloops.